Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Dil Narain's Online Islamic Institute. This is the Tafseer series. This is the Tafseer of Surah 106, which is Surah Quraysh. It is named after the people of Quraysh who lived in Mecca at the time of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Let's begin with reciting the surah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لإيلاف قريش إيلافهم رحلة الشتاء والصيف فليعبدوا رب هذا البيت الذي أطعمهم من جوع وآمنهم من خوف. So many scholars have stated that this surah is a continuation of the previous surah. The surah before, which was Surah Al-Fil, talked about how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protected the Quraysh from the army of the elephants who came to attack the Kaaba. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did that with His power and might, He protected the Quraysh and gave them safety and benefit. So they could continue in their trade travels. They could go to Yemen in the winter and Syria in the summer for all their food. And they were maintained in their power, and their status as guardians of the Kaaba remained. And whenever they would do these trade journeys, when people would come to the Kaaba for the Hajj or for the pilgrimage, at that moment they would sell all the things that they have traded. So the Quraysh were making a lot of business and a lot of money, and if the Kaaba was destroyed, then they would be left with nothing. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala really did protect them. And we're learning more about the Quraysh, and we're learning more about the history of the place of Mecca and the people of Mecca before the message of Islam came. So let's begin with the first two ayahs. لإيلاف قريش إيلافهم رحلة الشتاء والصيف. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about the security of the Quraysh, for the security that they were used to. They were used to traveling in the winter and in the summer, and it can be very scary because on the way there could be highway robbers and their caravans could get lost. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala granted them security. And they had all of this security with money and power because of the Kaaba. Because they used to honor the Kaaba and they were the guardians of the Kaaba, people used to come to visit them, and whatever they would trade in the winter or in the summer, all of that would give them money and stability. Otherwise, nobody would come to them. And they had this sense of honor and protection through the Kaaba. Because of their love for this land, they were stable in their money and their power. Usually these routes, when they would go to Yemen and Syria, are not safe. They're dangerous roads. They're not like the roads we have today. They're deserts, roads, lots of thieves on the way. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who gave them successes. And often caravans would be attacked at that time as well. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protected their money, their food, and their lives. And the Quraysh were used to this security. They were used to this protection. They were used to this honor, but they didn't worship or thank Allah for it. So what did Allah command them to do to thank Him for His favors on them? Clearly, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given them so many favors by protecting the Kaaba, protecting their trade routes. So what does Allah tell them to do? Allah says, فَلْيَعْبُدُوا رَبَّ هَذَا الْبَيْتِ. Let them worship the Lord of this house, meaning that same house, the Kaaba, who gave them so much honor, That Kaaba is the reason that people come to Mecca, is the source of their power and stability. Allah says, worship the Lord of this house. Don't worship the idols that you put inside it. Worship the one who gave you all the protection. Worship the one who gave you those blessings. Because it doesn't make any sense to worship anything else. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who gave you all these blessings. And instead of worshipping Him, you turn around to other things and say thank you. Right? Imagine that. Even if we look at, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has the greatest of examples, but if we give a small example, if somebody gives you a gift and you take it and you love it, and then you turn around to another person and say thank you for the gift, how will the person who gave you the gift feel? You did not thank them properly. فَلْيَعْبُدُوا رَبَّ هَذَا الْبَيْتِ. With Allah, He deserves our worship. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that, look at the blessings He's given you, O Quraysh. You would be nothing without the protection of Allah. So worship the Lord of the house. We don't worship the Kaaba. We don't worship the house. We don't worship the idols. No, we worship the Lord of everybody. We worship the one who gave us those blessings. And what are those blessings that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us? Or gave to the Quraysh? الذي أطعمهم من جوع وآمنهم من خوف. Allah is the one who has fed them. So He saved them from hunger and made them safe, saved them from fear. Because if you live in the middle of a desert, you're not going to have a lot of food. Not a lot of things grow in the desert. So for food, they need to trade with other countries where summer and winter, they need for different seasons, because nothing grows in the desert. So in the summer, they used to go to Syria, which had good weather, and they would be able to get food from there. And in the winter, they would go to Yemen, which had warm weather, so they would be able to get food even then. But otherwise, they would not have any food. Otherwise, the desert is a land without much. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, by protecting them, by protecting the Kaaba, so that people would come to the Kaaba and be able to give them money and trade for the things that they got, and also by protecting their journeys whenever they would go to these lands, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala kept them from going hungry. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saved them from going hungry. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made them safe. So when they were fearing that the elephants are going to attack and there was nothing they could do, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protected them. On their journeys, whenever they were scared of the dangerous roads, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who got them safely from one place to another. So if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us all these blessings, doesn't it make sense to thank Allah alone? So Allah is reminding the Quraysh about His blessings to them, and reminding them that they would be nothing without Allah. And they should thank Allah for His blessings by worshipping Him, and not any other idols, and not any other thing. Jazakallahu khair for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe.